What's up, beautiful world? This is rSlashTNA, and welcome to another episode of rSlashMaliciousCompliance. Remember to hit that subscribe button anytime during this video, and don't forget to press that notification bell to be notified every time I post a new video. If this is your first time on this channel, we welcome you. If this is not your first time, welcome back. Enjoy the stories of rSlashMaliciousCompliance. Our first story is tell me to hide period products in order to not offend male coworkers? Consider it done. Background. I work in a fast-paced healthcare environment where every minute counts, and I have both male and female coworkers on my shift. We have lockers with opaque doors where we're allowed to store our things. When I'm in the office area, I leave mine unlocked for easy access, and I've started keeping a box of tampons in my locker. I've told my female coworkers if they're in a hurry and need a tampon, they're welcome to just open my locker when it's unlocked and I'm in the office and take one, no problem. I got called into my boss's office the other day because a male coworker of mine complained that me keeping tampons in my locker was disgusting, and he hated that he could see the box whenever my locker was opened. My boss, a male, told me that some men were really sensitive to this type of thing and that I should try hiding them in a different type of box so I wouldn't offend my coworkers. I asked what the point was because my coworkers would see someone reach into a crackers and Pop-Tarts, etc. box and taking out a tampon instead of food anyway. My boss got all huffy and told me that it was for the best and I needed to do it. Well, fine. I made a cover for my tampon box that said Mother Earth's Bloody Nutrients Bars with extra gooey, nutritious filling, with the photo of a bloody bathtub, and placed it on the box. That was 2 days ago, and I saw the male coworker open my locker, trying to be sneaky, and he paled when he read the box. Got all angry, and I received an email from my boss that my cover wasn't funny, and that I need to take it down. So I emailed our HR person a copy of the email, as well as a summary of what happened, and photos of the lockers, the box, and the cover. I also suggested that the male coworker sit somewhere where he didn't have a direct line of sight to my locker if it really offended him so much. She thought it was freaking hilarious and said I follow my supervisor's instructions, and so I was fine. Nothing else had been done yet, and I'm mostly angry that my time was spent on something as stupid as this and not on patient work. Edit. Thank you so much for the support and the awards. I've documented everything and I'm encouraging my coworkers, male and female, to do the same. HR is now in the loop, and they have told me that they have multiple people come forward saying similar things, that they're doing some investigating. So hopefully things change. And this next rSlashMaliciousCompliance story is pull me out of the shower stark naked to belittle me? Okay, but it's gonna be in front of everyone. So my stepdad has always been a very nitpicky person. He has the eyes of a hawk, jumping at every misplaced spoon or crumb as an opportunity to call me downstairs and go on a diatribe about cleanliness and picking things up after myself. If I don't show up, that makes it worse, as I would have to sit tight for 20 minutes as he rants and raves about respect. My brother relishes the opportunity to witness stepdad chewing me out, happily conveying the court summons upstairs with a big smirk on his face. I wanted to teach both of them a lesson about being petty and waited for my chance. One day we had guests over that were staying pretty late. After eating dinner, I went up to quickly shower so I could enjoy the evening activities without having to take up the bathroom later. I must have left a spoon or plate sitting outside its place because, as per usual, my stepdad asked for me to come down. My brother jumps at the opportunity to watch me suffer, shooting upstairs and hauling me out of the shower cold and dripping, rubbing in my face that I have to come down. So I complied. Sopping wet and with soap suds sliding down my bare body, I make my way downstairs in ripping nudity. My stepdad and brother were there, the smug expressions wiped off their faces as I went on full display in front of everyone. I told them I was hassled down here and that it was urgent, asking what was the matter. My stepdad stammered that I had left a spoon on the table as the guests stared at him and me in utter shock. They didn't stay much longer. After that embarrassment, my stepdad and brother magically stopped hassling me. I guess learning to live and let live. I didn't get any more urgent calls from downstairs. Edit. Just to set the record straight, I wasn't physically pulled out of the shower. My brother just banged on the door until I cracked it open and told me I'd get chewed out if I didn't go downstairs immediately. My family gets along, but you know how pettiness works, especially after 6 months of lockdown. And this next r/malicious compliance story is, I have to use the rest of my vacation time by the end of the year to prevent critical understaffing issues? Okay then. I'm an analytical chemist in the petroleum industry. Boo. I'm attached to a refining pilot plant where we test products related to refining. The data I produce supports various other groups. My lab is staffed by me, senior chemist, and a temp and contractor lab tech, minion. The minion does a lot of the day-to-day work with the basic analysis as well as some regular tasks for my boss. I do maintenance, repairs, method development, special project planning, as well as more advanced analysis where there is more nuance in the data processing. Due to the global pandemic, an edict came from high up in the corporate pantheon that we weren't allowed to carry over any vacation time this year. I'm usually allowed to carry over 5 days. I guess they are worried about people banking up too much time and leaving various groups critically understaffed when too many people take vacation time at once. Never mind that vacation time has to be approved. This being America with lax labor protections, this is all perfectly legal. Suck it, Europeans. We've got the freedom to be taken advantage of by our corporate overlords. My boss emailed me and said I have 5.5 days left and she'd been told to tell me to use it or lose it. I look at our holiday schedule and figure out that strategic use of vacation and holiday time means I can take 2 consecutive weeks off. I told my boss this and she said, well, if they didn't want you to use it all at once, they shouldn't force you to use it all at once. She approved my plan. So, the lab will be critically understaffed for 2 weeks, what they were trying to avoid, because I am doing what I was told. The R&D and tech service groups are going to be wanting the analytical results from the pilot plant to crunch on while working from home, since they were required to use up their vacation time as well. Not sure what they are going to do, but it won't be anything that requires data from the pilot plant. And this next r/malicious compliance story is, then it all went quiet. Back in my university days, we had a long summer holiday, and in the UK, most students got a job to top up their bank accounts for the next year's drinking, studying. At the end of my second year studying chemistry, I got a job as a quality controller in food factory. Now, the one thing I really learned from that job was the foods to avoid. Did you know one of the ingredients in canned tomato soup is concentrated hydrochloric acid? Anyhow, I was significantly more qualified in chemistry than the quality supervisor, and after I pointed out some problems in the way they were carrying out some of the tests in the lab, I was put into a cannery where I was told to check the seams on the cans after they were lidded, the vacuum in the cans after they were lidded, and also that the check weigher was working correctly. It was the check weigher where things got interesting. If the volume of products in each can was too high, then the cans could burst during cooking. And if it was too low, then the company could be fined for underweight products. I was shown how to check and also adjust the volumes going into each can. It really wasn't difficult. One day I was watching the production and canning of chicken soup and noticed the line was running just a little light, not below, but just on the lower compliance level, so it adjusted the machine to add just a little more soup to the cans. This brought it up to almost the exact weight expected per can. Things ran really smoothly from that point onwards until we got to the end of the run. There was a flurry of activity in the cannery, supervisor's office, and much pointing at paperwork. It seems the cannery had produced around 100 cans less than was expected from the run. Cue the investigation. Turns out that by stopping the line running light and adhering to the can labeling of the weight inside the can, I had cost them 100 cans of soup. I was told under no circumstances should I make any adjustments to any production line, and I must find the supervisor. Fine, I was only there as a temp after all. Everything was good for a week or so, and then came the mushroom soup run. Once again, the line was running as close to the minimum as they could, and then I noticed cans coming through the check weight underweight. I told the guy running the line, and he said just adjust it then. This is where MC carpet in. No, I can't adjust it, but also I'm responsible for quality control. I can't let this run underweight. Q, pressing the big red button, stopping the canning line. Canneries are noisy places. There are conveyors running and the time, cans clattering against each other, and then into the retort baskets they are cooked in at the end. All of this stopped, and I had the entire room standing wondering what to do. I asked one of the line staff to go and find a supervisor to make the adjustments, and I waited. We waited for almost an hour to find someone, by which time the soup that needed to be canned had got cold and couldn't be pumped through the canning machines and had to be dumped. The supervisor arrived, went ballistic, dragging me into the factory manager's office. He told the story of the lost 100 cans and how I had now cost him a whole batch of mushroom soup. The manager started shouting at me and then came out with the gem of a statement. I can't see you having a career in this industry. You need to think about your options. My response was quite blunt, I'm afraid. Clearly, your margins are dependent on being as close to a can of soup being underweight as possible. I understand that and sought only to protect you from possible litigation under consumer legislation. I was told I was not to do that and find a supervisor to make any changes. In the absence of this chat for over an hour, I was faced with two options: either halt production or allow underweight cans to leave the cannery. My career options are not guided by my temporary summer holiday job, and I aspire to something more fulfilling. As I will be returning to university in a few weeks, I'm going to get changed, and you can sort out someone else to check your cannery production. Bye. Those were 4 great stories. To hear some of my best suggested stories, click on the video to the left. To hear more malicious compliance stories, click on the video to the right. If you have not already done so, click on that subscribe button right there in the middle, and don't forget to click that notification bell. Once again, this is rSlashTNA. Thank you for listening, and have yourself a great day.